everyone, Andrea here with an impromptu live. I wanted to hop on and wish everybody a happy National Coffee Day. I love coffee, and I also decided to go ahead and do a video making this super cute card here from Fawn. I'm going to make one change, and that is to this leaf because I didn't have that in my stock. I'm going to switch it out for something else. But also what I will end up doing with this video is I'm going to record it, I will download it, upload it up to YouTube, and then I will put the QR code for the YouTube on the download instruction, which I will then upload to the website as a download. The download will have the written instructions. In the written instructions will be the QR code to the video, which has the link to what will be uploaded from this video to YouTube. And then it will also have the cutting guide. So I have the cutting guide that I will be attaching to that PDF written instruction as well. The first thing I wanted to do was go over some of the product that I used just so that you could see what it is. It is all listed in the instructions, but for visual reference, I wanted to point some of the products out. So this is the frame, and this is the largest frame of the outside-in stitched die set from Fawn. I don't have the package here in the store. I happen to have the frame. This is the frame, so the die actually is in the center of the two stitches. That die cut this piece out here. So I have that written in the instruction what frame you need to use for this blue piece. And then for the stamping, I use the Henry's. This is the Build a Sentiment. This is the spring edition, and that's how I build the Wishing You a Happy. And then I have the fall, and the fall is this set here, which is the Scripty Sentiment and the outline add-on. And I die cut the fall, just the Scripty, in orange. And then with the outline, you can see the vellum in the back. I die cut the vellum in the back, and I'll go over a tip with that. Hi, Kathy. Then for the mug and some of the accessories, I use this really cute set. This is the Build a Drink mug. And then for the leaf, I used the Magic Iris leaves add-on, and I used this little maple leaf here, and that's what I'm going to swap out for this leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling the card and walking you through. I already have all the pieces die cut. I'll do the ink blending. So this is the Fawn mermaid paper, and I'm just going to put it on my Altenew sticky mat. And then I will be ink blending with the Distress. So I'm using the Distress Oxide Peacock Feathers. And I'm just going to lightly add a little bit of blue around the edge, all four edges of the die cut here that I have. This is optional, and also on the instruction I have, if you don't have the frame, I have the measurements for this piece. So you can just cut it out. You don't necessarily need the stitching. It looks really nice, but you don't need it. And so I'm just going to blend this in a little bit. I hope everybody's Monday is off to a great start. I've been busy taking online classes and getting packages together to mail out and other just daily items. All right, I am happy with that. I'm done with this ink, so I'm going to put that away. And then I am going to ink blend a little bit of orange onto the sentiment. So I'm going to clean my sticky mat. And I'm also going to do a little ink blending on the whipped cream, the dollop of whipped cream. So I will actually pull the card back into frame. So I just want to clean my mat off. And I'm actually notice I got a little blue on my work surface here. Actually got a lot of, happened to transfer a lot of ink. All right, so next, I'm just going to make sure my hands are clean. I'm going to ink blend the fall sentiment and just add a little bit of the Spice Marmalade Distress Oxide ink. Just to darken that up a little bit. And then I'll set this aside. And next I'm going to add a little bit of Antique Linen Distress Oxide to my whipped cream. I'm actually going to switch to a little bit of a smaller brush. Just, oh, that's a lot of yellow. Oops. That's okay. So this one is quite a bit of yellow. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and lift some of that ink off. Perfect. Just take a little bit of the wet wipe and I lifted some of that ink off. And now there's still a little bit of color to give it some shading. And I don't have to cut another one. So I'm done with this mat. I'm done ink blending. So I'm going to put the mat away. Again, the colors I used were Peacock Feathers, Antique Linen, and Spice Marmalade. And they're all Distress inks. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inked paper. And what I did is I'm using the Sizzix, the Stampin' something tool. I can't remember what it is. I have the stamp is already set. I've set it, but I haven't tried it. This is a template. So I'm going to stamp it with the black ink on the template. And then I'm actually going to use this on the back of the blue ink piece to help give it a little bit of dimension. I like that. It looks good to me. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to swap this one out. I'm going to keep this because I'm going to use it. And I'm going to replace it with my blue. I actually want my top this side. So just look at what side you want for your top. And then before I press down, I just quickly check and make sure it's lined up where I want it. It looks really good. So I'm going to ink my stamp up and press down. And I'm going to do it probably 3 times. Yeah, I'll do it one more time. If you want, I'm using the Lawn Fawn Jet Black. You could use pigment ink and then put clear embossing powder over it. I'm going to do it one more time. So 4 times. Hi, Bernadette. Hi, Pam. So again, this will be the video I will upload to YouTube. I'll put the QR code in the download instructions, and the download instructions with the die cutting guide will be on the website before the close of business tonight. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to download it and take care of the rest. The instructions are already written. I just have to put the QR code. So you'll get the cutting guide, the written instructions, and then the QR code for the download video I'm making right now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and glue it to this. And I actually had a second one. I don't know what happened to the second one. I do that to add dimension without having to use foam tape. And it also helps me use my scratch pieces of paper. I'm trying to find my other one I had. And because I wanted to show you how I use the scratch piece of paper. It was just here. Huh. All right, well, no worries. So I'm just going to glue this to this. So what's everybody up to today? Are there any coffee drinkers in the watching the live right now? I'm still trying to find my piece of paper. It was here. I am going to grab another piece of paper here. Actually, I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to trim this down to 5.5, 5 and like something eighths by 3 7/8. Just make sure it fits behind here. Perfect. Now this was left over from one of the cards I made this weekend. I didn't like the way the panel turned out, but I didn't want to necessarily throw it away because it can be used exactly for what I'm using it for. There we have it. Now I'm going to assemble the coffee mug. So on this coffee mug, the key here is to not add to not add glue right along the lip, because you want to have some space to tuck in the whipped cream. So I'm going to just add a little dollop of glue right up the top, and then I'm going to leave it open. See how I'm not adding glue right towards the very tippy top? And don't put glue on the handle, because this doesn't cover that glue. So you would end up with glue exposed. And then you glue down that dark piece that represents your coffee. Very cute. Now I'm going to add, actually I'm not going to do this quite yet. I'm going to glue my fall to my vellum. So this is the vellum, and what I did was I have paper tape on this whole piece. So before I put the vellum through the die cutting machine, I took my sheet of vellum and then I put a sheet of paper tape, score tape, tear tape, tissue tape, whatever, you know, that thin tape that you tear is behind this. And that helps with the vellum so that you don't see the adhesive, because the adhesive is on this whole panel. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue my script sentiment to the outline. And this outline actually has an embossed outline of where this sentiment needs to be placed on the die. And don't forget, I inked this. This isn't necessary. If you use, I didn't have the pumpkin cardstock from Fawn in stock, and it's a tad bit, it's a really pretty color. It's what I used on the original. So I ended up using a lighter orange and then just adding a little ink to darken it up a little bit. So now I have the scripty sentiment added to the shadow, which is the vellum, and it looks like white paper, but it's not. It's just the backing of the tear tape. And I'm going to add 3D foam tape behind my mug here. Oops, I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong desk. I'm just going to add this behind here. This is a very quick and easy card to put together. Super, super easy. And I really think it is so stinking adorable. And this pattern is called Mocha Mint. It's from the fall release, the Lawn Fawn fall release. Super cute. All right, phone dying. Oh no, very cute cup. It is cute, right? I love the dollop too. I'm gonna add a little bit of foam right on the handle there, just to give it a little support. And I'm going to take my fall. This will help with a little bit of the placement. And don't forget, I still need to account for, there's going to be a little bit of height still on the mug because of the whipped cream. This looks great. I'm going to press that down. I'm going to go ahead and add my sentiment. And so you can see here, that's the paper tape, that's the vellum. Very easy to make, and now you can't even see any of the adhesive. Very cute. It's coming together. See how quick that is? Now I'm going to go ahead and glue the whipped cream. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right here on the back side. Tuck it in. And I'm going to add my chocolate bar. I'm going to cut my chocolate bar. I don't need the whole thing. I think I just used one block on the original one too. There we are. Looking great. And then I have my anise star here. Oh, you know, see, I tucked in a little mushroom, or not mushroom, marshmallow. There is a marshmallow set that comes in this kit if you want to use it. Super cute. I didn't cut it for this, but you can totally use that. And then I have the little maple leaf, which I'm going to add to the front of my card. Just like that. Or not my card, my mug. Add that to my mug. I love it. Now I'm just going to center this decorated panel right onto my top fold card. I wasn't paying attention. I hope I was in screen the whole time, or I might be re-recording this. There you have it. Super quick and easy, really fun to make. You can swap this out with different seasons. I've made one very similar to this with the Scripty Sentiment Joy and the peppermint. Made it into a peppermint mocha. I absolutely love this die set. I hope everybody has an awesome happy National Coffee Day. I think International Coffee Day is a couple days away, so maybe I'll pop on with something else. And as I said, I will download the video to YouTube and put the QR code in the instructions. And I hope everybody has a great Monday. Thanks for popping on with me, everybody. Have a great day.